This is our biggest fear.
delicatebeats.com.
As producers who want to quit their corporate job to pursue a full-time career in music, this right here is our biggest fear. Hey, I'm JT for delicatebeats.com, and today I want to talk about the fear of leaving a steady paycheck to pursue your career as a music producer. Even if we hate our day job, the peace of mind a steady paycheck brings into our lives is second to none. But what if I told you that this fear, looking from the other side, seems trivial at best? What if I told you everyone I know who quit the rat race feels the same way? What if our greatest fear is not to go broke, but actually to become great? I was reading this blog post on the Forbes website, and the author brought up some very valid points about the fear of leaving behind a steady paycheck. I'd like to relate these points from a music producer's perspective. Point number one, leave and never look back. I know, this is such a cliche, but you know what they say about cliches? They're true. I mean, how do you not look back, right? Well, for me, the trick was to find the best crossover point. I had built my beat selling business on the side for several years, and at that point, the math was simple. If 15 hours a week equals X amount of money, then 40 hours a week equals X amount of money. If X amount of money then is enough based on my budget, then I'm in the clear and I can leave my day job and pursue my music career. As I've said many times, you need to build your beat selling business on the side and keep your day job. You also need to change your spending habits. As I've said many times, keep your day job and build your beat selling business on the side. You also need to change your spending habits. At least do it for the first few years. I mean, you don't need to be a minimalist like I am. The goal is to make that leap of faith as safe as possible. In my first year, my income from selling music was double what I had projected. I even made a bit more money than from my corporate job. Now that's the easiest way to not look back. Number two, have a financial fallback. I'm not the biggest fan of preparing your jump with a side job because that might stop you from going all in on your music career. But sometimes making ends meet is more crucial in the beginning. Now that I think about it, I still kept my biggest client from my old web design job when I quit. This client made me 20% of my annual income in the first year. In retrospect, this acted more as an insurance policy when I started out. The very next year, I told them I was too busy to take on more work as my music income was good enough for me. We had a great relationship. They knew about my career change from web design to music, and we parted ways in very professional and amicable way. So what I'm saying is you might have to take on a side job when you quit your corporate job. Who cares? The goal is to make more time now. Another great way to make this leap of faith more safe is to prepare an emergency fund. Again, put together a budget and make sure your emergency funds covers all your expenses for 3 to 6 months with no income. That way you don't lose your mind if your beat sales don't grow at the exact pace you envisioned. Number three, stop second guessing. I found this very interesting quote online. When creating something out of passion, excitement, love, and conviction, your instinct, with a lot of thought, of course, is the only way to go. Personally, I second guess myself all the time. For my beats, my product ideas, my business partnerships, everything. But that's okay. At the end of the day, I seem to always go with my gut feeling. And you know what? It has served me extremely well so far. Of course, you will make mistakes. In business and in life, we make more mistakes than we actually succeed. The goal is to get better at taking calculated risks and live with the consequences. That's how you gradually stop second guessing yourself. Next point, grow up before you go big. To be successful, you need to take as much time as you can to develop your product and services. Your product is your songs. I see a lot of inexperienced producers online rushing to start selling their beats. They put together a bunch of social media pages, give crazy discounts, and even with that, they wonder why they don't get the beat sales they want to. When your product is undeniable, it will sell itself. At the beginning of your career, like I said in one of my previous videos, you can also leverage the power of music marketplaces to bring traffic to your music. But if you want to do it all by yourself, then the product becomes you. It's a very different strategy. The upside is great, don't get me wrong. But when you start out and your passion is making music, you might get deterred by spending all this time on marketing, sales, traffic, SEO, and all these other things. It really depends on what you want to spend your time on. Next point, embrace your story. We all feel a need to compare ourselves to others, especially people who are more successful than us, to know where we stand. We want to validate our efforts. When we compare ourselves, usually it's going to be with people who are further along the path. So basically, we go about rewarding ourselves the wrong way. Listen, they did not have the same challenges you did. Maybe their struggle is something that's easy to you, but you don't know that. One thing I realized when I wrote my book, The Bedroom Super Producer, was that while my story was unique, a lot of people told me their story was my story. It really resonated with a lot of the producer community. So what I'm trying to say is, don't underestimate your story. When it's all said and done, all you can do is look back and enjoy the ride one more time. Make it count. If you found this information of value, I invite you to get my book, The Bedroom Super Producer, available as a paperback on Amazon and as a PDF ebook on my website, delicatebeats.com. That way you can start preparing your jump to quit your day job and to pursue a career as a music producer. I'm also preparing something very special that takes all of this information to the very next level. And so if you want to stay in touch with me to know when this drops, subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram at delicatebeats. All right, stay tuned.